Hi dear students, welcome back to Dhanya's classroom. It's me Dhanya. Today we are going to learn the continuation of our second chapter in search of the source of wind. Our first topic, that is atmospheric pressure and wind. First topic, atmospheric pressure and wind. My dears, what is wind? No doubt, the horizontal movement of air from high pressure zone to the low pressure zone is called wind. The horizontal movement of air from high pressure zone to the low pressure zone is known as wind. What may be the reason for the occurrence of wind? No doubt, global variation in the atmospheric pressure is the reason for the formation of wind. Once more, global variation in the atmospheric pressure leads to the formation of wind. Then, how the winds got the name? Then, winds are named on the basis of the direction which they blow. Then, example, south wind. South wind means that wind blowing from the southern direction. Then, the peculiarities of the source region. Peculiarities of the source region. Source region means origin place. The peculiarities of the source region also influences the nature of wind. The speed and direction of wind. The speed and direction of wind. The speed and direction of wind based on three factors. Three factors behind the speed and direction of wind. Which are that? First factor, that is the pressure gradient force. What is that? The pressure gradient force. Second point, that is Coriolis force. Second point, Coriolis force. Third, friction. Third, friction. Let's examine one by one. Listen. First topic, pressure gradient force. What is pressure gradient force? Listen. Pressure gradient force is used to indicate the speed of wind. Pressure gradient force is used to indicate the speed of wind. Isobars are used for this. The pressure gradient is said to be steeper. Pressure gradient is said to be steeper when the pressure difference is more. When the pressure difference is more, pressure gradient is said to be steeper. In region where the wind in less strength, the isobars are drawn in greater distance. If isobars are drawn in closer distance, wind will be more powerful. Do you understand? Second point, that is Coriolis force. What is Coriolis force? Listen. Freely moving bodies get deflected to the right in the northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere due to a force generated as a result of Earth's rotation. This is known as Coriolis force. Once more, freely moving bodies, that is wind. Then wind is a freely moving body. Freely moving bodies get deflected to the right in the northern hemisphere and left in the southern hemisphere as a result of a force generated by Earth rotation. That is known as Coriolis force. This force increased as it moved towards pole from the equator. Admiral Farrell found out that the winds in the northern hemisphere deflected towards their right. Those in the southern hemisphere deflected towards the left as a result of Coriolis force. Listen, Admiral Farrell, that is a person, then he found out that the winds in the northern hemisphere deflected towards their right and those in southern hemisphere deflected towards left due to Coriolis force. This theory put forward by Admiral Farrell, that's why this law known as Farrell's law. What is Farrell's law? Third point, that is friction. What is friction? The speed of wind will be high over ocean surface and plains because friction is less. In plain surface, that means in ocean surface and plain region, nothing obstructs the movement of wind. That's why friction is less, the speed of wind is more. But in friction being more along difficult terrain and dense forest, because the speed of wind will be less in those regions. This friction being more, then speed of wind will be low. Very important 6-mark question waiting for you. That is pressure belt and winds. What is pressure belts and winds? Listen. The winds developed between global pressure belt can be called planetary winds. First question, what is planetary winds? The winds developed between global pressure belt is called planetary wind. Different planetary winds are there. Very important point, 3 planetary winds are there. First point, trade wind. Second point, westerlies. Third point, polar easterly. First point, trade wind. Second point, westerlies. Third point, polar easterlies. Our first topic, that is trade wind. What is trade wind? Listen. The wind blows from subtropical high pressure belt to the equatorial low pressure belt is known as trade wind. Look here. The wind blows from subtropical high pressure belt to equatorial low pressure belt like this. Then the wind blows from subtropical high pressure belt to the equatorial low pressure belt is called trade wind. In northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, listen. In northern hemisphere, the wind blows from northeast in the northern hemisphere. This is north, this is east. Northeast in the northern hemisphere. That's why these are known as northeast trade wind. Net. Northeast trade wind. As this wind blows from northeast in the northern hemisphere, these are called northeast trade wind. In southern hemisphere, the wind blows from southeast in the southern hemisphere. That's why this wind known as southeast trade wind. Then in one region, the southeast trade wind and the northeast trade wind may converge. That means the southeast trade wind and northeast trade wind joining place is known as ITC set. ITC set. That means intertropical convergence zone. Then which place the southeast trade wind and northeast trade wind merge or converge, that region known as intertropical convergence zone. Our topic, that is westerlies. What is westerlies? How the wind got the name? Listen. The wind blows continuously from the subtropical high pressure belt towards the subpolar low pressure belt is called westerly. Look here. The wind blows from subtropical high pressure belt to subpolar low pressure belt is called westerlies. Then how this wind got the name westerly? You know that the direction of the wind are mostly from western side. You just take this arrow mark. This is from western side. That's why these winds are called westerlies. One important point. The westerlies are stronger in southern hemisphere than in northern hemisphere. In which hemisphere westerlies are more powerful? In southern hemisphere. You know that in southern hemisphere vast expanse of ocean, then you know that the friction is less in ocean part, then the speed of wind will be high. That's why in southern hemisphere westerlies are more powerful than the northern hemisphere. Westerlies that helped our Vasco da Gama to reach the South Africa through South Atlantic Ocean. The ancient mariners had given different names to the rough westerlies in the southern hemisphere. Who gave that name? Ancient mariners had given different names to the rough westerlies in southern hemisphere. Which are that? Listen. Along 40-degree latitude, the westerlies are known as roaring 40s. Along 40-degree latitude, roaring 40s. Then along 50-degree latitude, furious 50s. Along 60-degree latitude, shrieking 60s. Along 60-degree latitude, shrieking 60s. Last topic, that is polar easterlies. What is polar easterly? Polar winds are the cold wind that blow from the polar high pressure belt towards subpolar low pressure belt. Once more, the polar winds are the cold wind that blow from the polar high pressure belt area towards subpolar low pressure belt. This wind blows from the east in both hemispheres. That blows from the east, then in both hemispheres due to Coriolis effect. That's why these are known as polar easterlies. This wind play a significant role in determining the climate of North America, Eastern European countries and Russia. Like my class, don't forget to subscribe my channel Dhanya's Classroom. It's me, Dhanya. Thank you, my dears.